guys, my name's Shauna. Welcome to Mom Likely. If you've never been here before, today I just want to talk to you about how to organize your kids' room and give you guys like a room tour of my kids' room. So my preference for organizing my kids' rooms is to utilize bins and drawers and cube storage or something of the like. So we have cube storage now, but something that we've always utilized over the last couple years is sterilite drawers. I want to share with you how I organize the girls' bedroom since doing their makeover and how I have created a space that's more functional for us. When you're creating this space for yourself, I don't want you to get too hung up on the aesthetics of how like you want the room to look. Although yes, that does help. I'm just here to give you inspiration on ways that you can make the most function out of your space. So this is just one of the ways that I've done that, and so I wanted to share that with you. First up, how do you go about organizing your kids' room? The number one thing that I'm going to recommend for you to do is you need to downsize. You have to get rid of stuff. Like, it's inevitable that you really have to get rid of things if you want to organize them, because even if you think you need all that, you really don't. And I'm not saying get rid of everything and give your kid one toy and 2 sets of clothes. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying be practical, but I'm saying be realistic with yourself, with what you really want and what you want to accomplish and how you really think you're gonna get there. So is the problem maybe that like you're overwhelmed by the amount of stuff you have, you can't organize it? Or maybe is it that your current organizational system isn't working for you? So figure out kind of where you fall in between, and that will also help you kind of decide how extreme or non-extreme you need to go with organizing your kids' room. I guess to start off, I just wanted to walk you through like a quick clip I'm going to show you here of like what our playroom used to look like and then what our bedroom used to look like. We used to have 2 rooms, one for playroom, one for sleeping, and so I kind of figured, you know, that was going to be my solution. The toys would stay in the playroom, nothing would get in their bedroom, but we had so much stuff that it didn't matter. Like, it got in there anyways. I got busy, they took toys in there, friends came over, and you know, things happened and things got out of control again. I really wanted to just tell you why I felt like so pulled to do this to begin with, because I know it's easy to just kind of go on with life because how important is organizing to begin with. But because you're here and because I went through this process, I want to share with you like my experience on it and then like how I think I could help. So I think it would be really important that you do this because just having so much mess and having everything unorganized was just taking up so much physical and mental time for me that I just couldn't do it anymore. So I just want to start off by saying like I felt like I really was pulled to do this, even though at the time I felt like I was managing life. I could see that it was creating too much drama for me, and so I felt like I really needed to do this because I was failing. Like, I felt like I was failing as a homemaker, I was failing as like a mom, basically is how I felt, and I just really needed to get it together. So for me, everything was everywhere. I felt like I had a good grip on managing everything because I did go in and do like bi-weekly, monthly cleanings of my girls' room when it was a disaster. Things were so bad that it literally would take me between 3 to 4, sometimes even 5 hours to clean a room for them because we simply had so much stuff. So if I wanted it to look like everything was put away and see floor space and have the beds be cleared off, it took me a ton of time, and I had to literally nitpick through each item to give it a home, to make sure that the room felt clean and you know, that like it was mom clean, you know what I mean? I want you to decide, do you want to organize in a macro way or in a micro way? So if you're organizing in the macro, it's just less detailed. So maybe like if you're using a closet as an example, you'll have pants, shirts, undergarments, jackets all in one area. Or you don't really care that they're all together just on the rod. And then as an example for a micro, like you want those in different spaces. You want each thing together, and you know, you don't like them grouped all together. Or maybe you want to see each one in its own space. So like, you know, you'll have your pants here, your shirts here, your jackets here. So I'm kind of like that in my closet per se, but I don't mind if everything goes in the closet. So I'm kind of in the middle. So for me, I really liked organizing in the macro. So when I wanted to decide to do my girls' room, a system that we already had been using, which is my preference here that I'm sharing with you today, is utilizing bins and drawers to organize your toys. I really prefer bins and drawers to organize your toys versus using like a toy box, because coming from somebody who used to have like 6 toy boxes, I used to actually have like the 50-gallon tubs, and I would fill those up with toys and stuffed animals. And I had like a stuffed animal cage and all that stuff. If you look back at older videos, you'll see that too. But what I found was just that I was getting so frustrated because my kids would go into play or friends would come over, and by the time they left, literally all the bins would be dumped out on the floor. And so you can imagine the dilemma I would have within myself when I know it would take me hours to clean that mess. Now, I know there's the argument, well, the kids could help you clean up or a company should help you clean up, but that's just not how I'm wired. I just don't expect that. I just want my kids to have fun. And, I just felt like it's my responsibility. Number one, I let them have these things, so I should be able to help them to manage it, which was the point, which also brings me back to why are you organizing your child's room? So obviously you just want it to function the best way that you can with what you have. And so that's why my preference is bins and drawers. And so I prefer these drawers because it's just so much less stressful I think for me to pick up, but also I think it's so much less stressful on your kids to be able to see things. So think of this for yourself, right? You're the parent, you want to find something, you have to go searching through everything to find it for one item. Well, just think of how your kid feels like when they want to go into their toy box and they know they want, oh, I want that race car. I want that Barbie. And then they have to go digging through that entire toy box or multiple toy boxes to find it. And then they're frustrated by then. And let's say like they're getting in the bath and they're like, oh, can I get a toy? Can I bring a toy in the bath? And you're like, yeah, sure, hurry up and go do that because we have 30 minutes for bath time and we need to be quick. So if you want to play, hurry up and pick your toy, right? Well, they go in the room, they want to find their toy, and they have to dump the box out so they can find it quicker. And then you're like, oh, why'd you dump the box out? And I'm just painting you here a visual representation of struggles that I've had in the past and maybe things that you might run into. And it's really hard for both of us. It's hard. Now, I don't want to step on anybody's toes when it comes to toy boxes. I feel like they definitely have their place. I really love boxes for stuffed animals and stuff like that. So that way you can kind of more, in a way, have more detailed organization with smaller items, and then you can keep all your stuffed animals in one place. That's also something I did back in the past. It's just that I just want you to be realistic out of what you want. You don't really need to keep all those toys, and if you do and it works for you, then that's great. But if you're here, I'm just guessing that you need help or maybe inspiration for ways that you could downsize or things that you can implement into your playroom to make life just, easier. There's something that I found too personally for me is that also, when I go and help the kids clean their room and just when it is more clean, I feel like their behavior is so much better because they love coming in here to make a mess. Like they really enjoy that when it's clean. They're free to just come in here and do what they wish and create and play. But I feel like once that space is rejuvenated, they really do have a more willing and more obedient spirit towards me. When it just comes to everything. And I'll even find that they'll even do a task without me asking. Just as a little rippling effect of working together to clean the space and stuff like that. Also, I'm not super hard on the kids. I don't pressure them when it comes to organizing their room. That's why I come in here about bi-weekly or every month just to help them reorganize everything into the bins because they're not perfect, and I don't pressure them to keep everything organized completely. If a baby ends up in a box with a Barbie, it's not the end of the world to me, and they know that. So that's why their room does get messy while they're playing, and it's fine. But they just understand that the more of a mess that there is, the more that I'm going to take away because we need a functional system. And so this is something that we've just all come to do over the last year. And I just have videos sharing my testimony with you guys as well. So, I'm not naturally like this. I'm not naturally organized. It's not super easy for me to keep their room clean. I don't stick to routines 100%, but this is just things that have helped me, and I have been that mom, so I really want to pass that on and have that experience pass on to you of how I could help you, and that how you can do this for yourself too. Okay, so let's say you don't want to get rid of all the toys. Once you go through them and you have less toys and stuff, you don't really want to go through them, you're unsure. You can always just put them outside, in the garage, in the basement, stack them in your closet, something like that. And that way, until you're more sure that they're going to be okay without them, or maybe you don't know if you can part with these things yet. Maybe they're sentimental. Maybe you're dealing with a lot of very baby toys and stuff like that. I definitely been there too, but I will tell you that I held on to so much stuff at the start, and finally just allowing myself to let go of them, it created so much more headspace. And I just want to encourage you to try it. But I have been there. I know how it feels to want to hang on to every little thing, but you don't have to. So if you're a recovering mess addict like I was, is what I like to say, through my experience, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. I really think you should do this process alone. I don't think you should involve your kids. I don't think you should ask them. I don't think you should do any of that. I think you should set aside some time where they're away or they're at school, and you should go at this for a couple hours going through all the toys by yourself, so you can really get in there and like go through this process of downsizing and decluttering. Because number one, when they get home, it's going to be clean to them again, and they're just going to be like, whoa, it's clean, you know, and they're probably not going to notice that so much is missing as you think. So I think you should just go for it. But not only that, it gives you a lot more time and clarity to evaluate things by yourself. So you're not going to have distractions and stress, and like all the choices are really going to be up to you and not them. Because let's be honest, just as hard as it is, like where you may be thinking about doing this, it's probably going to be hard for them in the beginning too, but I'm here to tell you, and I promise you that your kids are going to get over it, because mine did. Like initially when we very first started this process, they didn't want to even let go of like a McDonald's toy that they had 4 of. But now they willingly, when it's mom's turn to come in, they know I come in bi-weekly or monthly, depending on how well they've maintained their room throughout. That's why I haven't been uploading as many cleaning videos to my channel of their bedroom. It's just because they know like mom's gonna come in now and we're gonna go through stuff. So if it's trash, it's trash. Or maybe you really don't need that, you know what I mean? So like they'll do it with me now together. So I also really love bins for organizing the kids' room, because not only is it good for number one, organizing, but it's really good for transitioning your kids. So depending on the ages of your children, I know it could be difficult to get rid of some toys if you have like a 1-year-old and an 8-year-old. You know, the toy span there is quite wide. However, if your kids are growing up, or maybe they're done with that stage of toys, like that age group, you could get rid of things. So that also helps. So if you're having a toy box that has ABCs and letters in it, and then it also might have like, you know, a tablet charger and Barbies and makeup in it, or you know, vice versa, or like, you know, it has ABC book and then it has Nerf guns, then it's probably time to let go of like the really young infant and toddler stage toys and let your kids transition into the new things they want to play with, and stop housing them. Stop giving them a home in your space, because it's so time consuming and so mentally trying to constantly have to micromanage everything. So that's the whole point of this. You want to make more function and create more time for yourself and allow yourself to be more present with your kids and in your home. So it's time to transition out. So as you can see here with my boxes, my girls do still have bins with like random stuff in there. They're not perfectly organized, but we do have a lot more macro organized items. So we have Barbies, we have babies, we have Play-Doh, we have also art stuff and things that are in like the other room, and we have computer stuff. But for the most part, like I've allowed them to transition out of those toys, and I've let them become willing to get rid of things with me, and we've kind of just gone through that process together now. But initially, once I'd gone through their toys, they were not helping me with that at all. I did that all by myself. So I'm actually going to link a video down in the description box of me when I went through and decluttered the kids' toys. It took me about 4 hours. I sent the kids off to grandma's, and it took me about 4 hours alone in the room to really go through every single item. I'm talking every single one. I mean, even the tiny little Shopkins. I went through everything and nitpicked out things, and I got rid of big black large trash bags of items. And then ever since then, it's kind of just been a slow progression, but that was like my main huge decluttering, where I was like, okay, we're getting rid of this trash. So I just really love bins and drawers for organizing kids' rooms, because you have to think about it like this. They also really enjoy it too. Once they get the hang of it and they move past like, oh, mom's torturing me because she's getting rid of all my toys, they'll start to see that this is better for all of you, and they're going to enjoy it. So think of this: when you're watching Netflix, you're scrolling, you like being able to say, okay, I want to watch a comedy movie, I want to watch a scary movie, let's do it, let's watch a new movie, right? But if you're doing that, what if you had to just go on Netflix and you just had to scroll through endless movies and there was no search? It would be super frustrating. So it's just like that for kids. You know, they want an item, they like being able to pick a category, go search around for it and pull it out, versus having to go through every single last thing to find what they're looking for. And so ultimately it just creates a better experience overall with bins and drawers versus like toy boxes and very large boxes of toys, because it's just more enjoyable. You get to create more and play more versus finding, you know what I mean? Or if you're me, cleaning up, because I was spending like 4 hours a day doing that junk. So again, I just want to reiterate that like I'm really not here to tell you the right way. That's not my intention at all. You know, it was kind of hard for me to make this video in general because like I am a recovering mess addict is what I'm just calling it from now on this year. Because I am trying. I'm trying to get the house more organized. I'm trying to get into a more routine. It's not that everything's going to be down to a T, but just make it more manageable so that I have more mental and physical space to be more present and deal with other more concerns. Because feeling like we're failing as homemakers and parents, it's just really bad. It makes you just really feel yucky. But at the same time, like you can't, I know like we don't want to feel guilty about this because you want to feel like you're doing a good job at keeping things together and managing everything and trying to organize your home. Like it's important to you. However, don't be guilted into feeling bad because things that you want and you're taking away from your kids because you don't want to clean the mess or because you don't want to spend the time doing it or because you don't want to organize. I know exactly what that mindset feels like if some of you feel like that, because I used to feel like that. I felt like it was my duty to handle all this stuff and that they should just be allowed to be kids and have fun. But at the end of the day, I think the process was important for both of us. It allowed them to let go of a lot of stuff, and then it allowed me to let go of a lot of stuff too. Also, it also helped me to see that they actually can help me more too. So yeah, I would say don't pressure your kids too much into getting on board with organizing their room right away. Some of them might be really reluctant. Others are going to be so excited about this, you guys. Like just tell them about it and they're going to be like, okay, yeah, you could even bribe them. You guys do this and we're going to go get some candy from Dollar Tree. You guys can pick this new toy from Dollar Tree. Or hey, if you're really, really feisty about it, you can say, I'll give you 20 bucks if you fill this basket up and you guys can go pick a new bigger toy and we'll get rid of all this small stuff, you know? So there are ways you can do this. It's just that you kind of have to decide what's going to work for you. But initially you have to do that decluttering process by yourself. Go through the toys and trash, get rid of the things you really think they don't need to play with. And then kind of from there, they can kind of help you decide along the way and you can do it together each month. I would say monthly would be probably a better way to do it. Unless your kids are really on board, then go full force as many days or frequently as you want to until you're ready to decide to take a break. But, you know, just don't be scared to come up with ways, and who cares? A little candy or one more new toy isn't going to hurt in terms of, you know, getting rid of many boxes and many long hours of trying to organize crap. So if you guys are interested in any of the things that I used to organize the girls' room, I'm going to have everything listed in the product links down below. I'm definitely going to try to find the item or something similar from Amazon. And if you guys use my links, I would greatly appreciate it because it really helps to support me and to keep making videos as well. But I will try to put down there the sterilite containers, some type of cubicle, and then some other little odds and ends that we use in the room as well. Also, don't forget, I'm going to have the video down in the description box below where I went through the girls' room. I'll also throw in a couple other videos when like the room used to be really bad and disastrous. Like I'll throw those in there to really show you like kind of what we've gone through. And that will just help you, just give you inspiration to do this in your house as well. Also, let me know any questions you guys have down in the comments. Follow me on Instagram or Facebook if you want to shoot me a message over there and ask me something directly. I'll be sure to try to help you as best as I can. I know how frustrating it can be to do this alone, especially if your husband's not on board. James has been on board with wanting it done, but like this is definitely a process I did alone because, well, I think most of us just like to do these kinds of things on our own because we want to know exactly what's going on. But yeah, you guys can totally go and see those videos if you need inspiration and motivation along your process. There's definitely some great musics in there and there are time lapses too, so you can see exactly what I did throughout the process or how I used to clean up the bedrooms in general. So this year I'm really just focusing on making things more functional in the entire house for myself and for the kids, just so we can get more on board with having more time together. It's not necessarily that I want to keep the house perfect or like, you know, I need to have everything down to a T. It's just that we're really busy and I want more time to focus on more things that are more concerning and be more present versus, you know, barking at them to get things done or telling them I have things to do. You know what I mean? So that's what we're working on this year. So please, if this video helped you at all, I would really appreciate it if you would share this with a friend if you think it could help somebody. It would really help me and my channel to grow and reach other women to help so I can share my experiences with them. Also, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. I would definitely love to have you. If you're not familiar with the stories that I'm talking about, you can definitely go check out my playlist down below for cleaning like a powerhouse or cleaning motivation, and those playlists kind of have like the backstory of like all the mess that I've kind of dealt with over the last year. Because as much as I like making motivational, inspirational cleaning videos for you guys on YouTube and cleaning my house up, it's definitely been a process for me all year. And so this is not something that I just did. I never staged these videos. I never just let my house become a complete mess to film. This was my actual life that I was living. So I really want to share with you guys how I've cleaned up my act. So definitely the house still gets disastrous. If you've seen any recent videos, you'll know that it gets messy all the time. I don't like to clean every day. That's still a fact. However, I just like to deal with less stuff when it's time for me to clean, you know, and then we can go in there and rock it out. So I hope you liked today's video and you got some takeaways today that can help you along your journey. Okay, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.